group, made up of Wyclef Jean, Lauryn Hill, and Pras Michel, was with us for only a few short years in the 90s and only released 2 studio albums. Whatever they lacked in quantity, though, they more than delivered in quality. In fact, their second and to date last album they released has been touted by many critics to be one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever. So, what happened? Why didn't this trio go on to produce many more masterpieces and no doubt reach even further heights in hip-hop history? While attending the same high school in New Jersey, Pras approached Lauryn about wanting to include her in a music group he was putting together. The two of them ultimately did team up and, with the addition of another girl, began working under the name Translator Crew. That other member didn't last long and was soon replaced with Pras's cousin, Wyclef. After getting a few years of practice under their belts, their demo landed them a record deal with Rough House, distributed through Columbia Records. The members then decided it was time for a name change and went with the Fugees, taken from the word refugee, a term often used in a derogatory manner to refer to Haitian Americans. Both Pras and Wyclef have roots in the country. The Fugees released their debut album, Blunted on Reality, in 1994. The project spawned 3 singles, Boof Bath, Nappy Heads, and Vocab. The most successful was a remixed version of Nappy Heads, but even though it did the best out of the 3, it still didn't break the top 40. Thankfully, the Fugees would do much better the second time around. Little did they know just how much better. The group's sophomore effort, The Score, released in 1996, would go on to spend 4 weeks at the #1 spot on the Billboard 200, eventually going 7 times platinum. The trio gained massive attention for its cover versions of old favorites, including No Woman No Cry and Killing Me Softly, the latter being their biggest hit. The Fugees won 2 Grammys with The Score, Best Rap Album and Best R&B Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group for Killing Me Softly. Then, that was it. Everything just abruptly stopped. A third album never came, nor did a formal breakup. Even though there was no single incident that tore the members apart, if you ask Wyclef, there was one watershed moment that definitely caused irreparable damage to the group's dynamic. For years, Wyclef and Lauryn were having an affair. That fact in and of itself wouldn't have been that big of a deal, except that Wyclef was married at the time. Eventually, Lauryn became pregnant. She told Wyclef that the child was his, but as it turned out, the actual father was Rohan Marley, Bob Marley's son, whom she'd begun seeing during the promo and tour cycle for The Score. In that moment, something died between us. I was married and Lauryn and I were having an affair, but she led me to believe that the baby was mine, and I couldn't forgive that. She could no longer be my muse. Our love spell was broken. Later that year, all 3 members of the group began working on solo projects. Lauryn on her critically acclaimed The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Wyclef on his debut album, The Carnival, and Pras had a worldwide #1 smash, collaborating with Maya and Old Dirty Bastard on Ghetto Superstar, That Is What You Are, from the 1998 film Bulworth. It also ended up on his debut album of the same name. After a 7-year hiatus, the Fugees reunited in 2004 and headlined at the concert in Brooklyn featured in the film Dave Chappelle's Block Party. The group kept the momentum going when they made their first televised appearance in almost a decade at the 2005 BET Music Awards, opening the show with a 12-minute set. Later in the year, the trio embarked on a European tour. Not surprisingly, word on the street was that the Fugees also had a new album in the works. New songs in varying stages of completion leaked, and in 2006, the press was still mentioning the group's in-progress third album. But the project was ultimately scrapped. The reason apparently had a lot to do with the deteriorating relationships between the members. One major issue, or creative difference if you will, ended up costing the group what could have been an epic comeback with a global hit. At the beginning of the process of putting together their new project, the trio recorded a song titled Lips Don't Lie. Lauryn, though, didn't like the song, and after some disagreements over it, she walked out of the studio, and the Fugees were done. Again. The song was ultimately given to Colombian singer Shakira, with featured vocals by Wyclef. The title was changed, released as Hips Don't Lie, shot to #1 in countless countries around the world, and ended the year in the top 5 on Billboard's year-end Hot 100 singles of 2006. A couple of years later, both Pras and Wyclef were extremely candid in interviews when not only speaking about a proper Fugees reunion, but also concerning their feelings about Lauryn. In 2007, Pras told AllHipHop.com, "Before I work with Lauryn Hill again, you will have a better chance of seeing Osama bin Laden and Bush in Starbucks having a latte, discussing foreign policies before there will be a Fugees reunion." Around the same time, Wyclef told Blues and Soul, "I feel the first issue that needs to be addressed is that Lauryn needs help. Like, in my personal opinion, those Fugees reunion shows shouldn't have been done because we wasn't ready. I really felt we should have first all gone into a room with Lauryn and a psychiatrist. But I do believe Lauryn can get help. And once she does work things out, hopefully a proper and enduring Fugees reunion will happen." Over the years, Wyclef has established himself as a talented songwriter and producer. He founded the Yele Haiti, also known as the Wyclef Jean Foundation, a charitable organization providing aid for the people of Haiti, in 2001. By 2012, however, they were forced to close their doors, following investigations by the New York Attorney General over financial issues. In 2010, his bid to run for president in his country of birth was rejected due to not meeting the constitutional residency requirement of having lived there for 5 years before the election day. Pras dove into the acting world, appearing in a number of films, and has also done quite a bit of work on various documentaries. He caught a case when, on May 10, 2019, he and a fugitive Malaysian financier were charged with conspiring to violate federal campaign finance law by funneling millions of dollars worth of foreign money into the Barack Obama 2012 presidential campaign. As for Lauryn, so much has transpired in her life and career since the release of her debut solo album that she deserves a video of her own. Stay tuned. In the fall of 2021, fans of the Fugees were finally able to celebrate another reunion announcement from the group when they revealed their plans to go on a reunion tour to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their album, The Score. Sadly, 1 month later, they announced that everything would be postponed to early 2022. But by January, the group released yet another statement saying they would not be going on tour at all due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That may be so, but what could also be true is that due to the charges Pras was facing, he was barred from traveling internationally. On April 26, 2023, Pras was found guilty of 10 criminal counts in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. He was found guilty of conspiracy to defraud the U.S., witness tampering, and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. He faces up to 20 years in prison. After the Scrap reunion tour, the Fugees gave their fans the next best thing at Roots Picnic 2023, reuniting for a mini set during Lauryn's headlining performance. Hopefully, the crowd recognized the significance of the moment in that it may be a very long time before the trio is able to be seen on stage again, because Pras is likely going to prison when sentenced. After she sang on the final day of the Philadelphia Festival, organized by hip-hop band The Roots, celebrating the 25th anniversary of her solo debut album, things got taken up a notch when Wyclef and Pras joined her on stage. Together again, the trio performed 5 Fugees songs, including Killing Me Softly, Ready or Not, and Fuji La. The mood couldn't have been any more positive, with Lauryn declaring, "These are my brothers."